All-Star Tournament.
And that's what makes it fun.
Let's see.
That's what makes it so fun. We're jumping into Champion Select for the first match of All-Stars 2017. North America on the blue side, Brazil on the red. And our first bans are a couple of 80 carries. Misfortune and Ezreal, no love.
No, I love this from the NA team because they get rid of some of the poke supports right now. MF support is back in business. You can build lethality. Comet is fantastic on her in lane. You can even play 80 carry at the moment again because lethality and poke is so strong. Xerath as well, the flex pick, both mid lane and support. Once again, the poke meta getting banned away by NA.
Yeah, look at this. You've got the Xerath ban, you've got the Azir ban. Like we already mentioned, the MF and the Ezreal. Now, the one thing here that's not like the others is the Ornn, but in case you have missed League of Legends in the past month and a half,
yeah, he's pretty stupid.
Ornn is that is one way to put it. Ornn is so ridiculous. I would be surprised if we got to see him in a single game. He's very strong in the top lane right now. Jace also going to be banned out from that.
Exactly. Jarvan's still very good. Obviously, it's been a big meta pick all year long. You can still flex him around multiple lanes. Jungle is where he's preferred. Zoe is available in this draft. I want to see here because so Kami's played a lot of like Azir and Syndra, these kind of picks. He's not really been the big playmaker in Brazil. And if you play Zoe, you gotta make plays.
Absolutely. You've got to hit the Sleepy Trouble bubble, which, by the way, is one of my favorite new abilities to say.
Oh, it's a great play-by-play ability.
Yeah, it's a fantastic play-by-play ability. I love the fact that they named it that way. But Jarvan picked for North America. Brazil deciding to respond to that by grabbing Jhin for BRTT first and foremost.
Yep.
They want to get one of these big star players on a champion once.
And it is one of the big poke 80 carries right now. You go Comet on Jhin, you build lethality in the early game. If NA wants to respond in the same style, then Varus should be the pickup, and you just have a massive poke bot lane, which is what we saw over in Korea during the Kesper Cup quite a lot. Sejuani as well with Aftershock is actually very good in the jungle and can even be moved to top lane if you want to be that kind of guy.
Yeah, Aftershock, we've seen be very, very potent on tanks and
there,
inhibitors. There's and here comes your Zoe lock-in. North America, not disappointing for the showmanship. We're going to see our first Zoe game and our first All-Stars game. And they're going to take Malzahar into it.
See, again, I didn't know what to expect coming into All-Star, if each team would just kind of have their own little meta and their own personal picks, or they would just try and copy what had kind of been happening during the Kesper Cup. We're seeing a lot of the same picks as we saw over in Korea. Like, Malzahar is fantastic at the moment. The pokes 80 carries, as we mentioned, Jhin and Varus. And of course, now the Zoe is the new one, because she's available here during All-Star. And that's going to be a lot of fun to see what he can do on it. But the rest is very much poke long range.
Now, there was a clip, I think Zyrene showed it to me yesterday, of Bjergsen playing this champion in solo queue against Sneaky and one-shotting him without even putting him to sleep first. But then Bjergsen lost the game. So we know that Zoe can one-shot people, but can you one-shot them hard enough to carry the team?
Right, she can't make your teammates better.
Right.
Even though she can be really good on her own.
Even though she can do good on it. Yeah, exactly.
That's the next thing we need in League of Legends.
Now you're thinking, right.
We need a champion that makes your teammates better.
Although she can amplify their damage. If they hit him after the bubble, it's going to make it do more damage. Remember that Zoe makes it so when you fall asleep, the next source of damage you take from anybody is going to be doubled up to some really high AP ratio she has. So we'll have to see if Bjergsen can set up those plays with his team. Checking out the bans in the second part of the ban phase. Camille and Rumble targeted by North America, while Brazil goes for Kennen and Tarek.
All right, Tarek being banned away could give us a tank support for Dude down in the bot lane. A lot of people like to pick Tarek against the big tanks, like, and you know, if Alistar gets blind pick, Tarek can be an answer against it. Also, the Kennen ban, I actually like that. It is a flex pick at the moment. You can play Kennen support again, and you can, of course, play the Kennen top lane.
Right.
Both actually work pretty well, but it is going to be the Gnar, something we have seen a lot of in this offseason. Aerie has been the preferred choice for him, just for more poke damage. I still think you can run other things, like press the attack, so we have to see in-game how Vert decides to spec his Gnar.
And you mentioned it, Vert, this is the guy who's the shining star in the top lane, in the CB LoL. It's not surprising to see him on a champion that can take over the game by winning lane and then being strong in the mid game, being a big element in those team fights, as North America picking themselves up the Tom Kench. He's unbenched officio.
We wanted fighting and engage, and
this is the opposite of that.
We got Tom Kench. God damn it. Okay.
Permit the Kermit.
Right.
Unclog the frog.
Yeah, we get the Tom
Unload
Kench.
the toad.
Technically could still go top lane to make a lot of fun, but still looking at that support one. Shen support is also a thing.
Shen support is also a thing. I was about to say that. I'm pretty sure Aframu is one of the players who said Shen support is pretty solid right now, so we could get the top lane Kench.
Yeah, let's make a prediction here. Top lane Tahm Kench, support Shen, jungle Jarvan. That's what we're going for.
We're locking that in.
We're locking that in
That is
right
the prediction.
now.
That is a prediction.
Cut it out of the VOD if we're wrong.
Yeah, just don't watch this part. All right, one more pick to go for Brazil. They've still got to get their own support. Looks like they're going to go ahead and go for some mad playmaking of their own.
But now I kind of want Tahm Kench's support against the Thresh just to counter his hook.
I mean, you want it from an analytical perspective, but from a viewer perspective, you don't want it because then nothing ever happens. And
it's
Thresh
true.
the hook,
It's true, but now it's a conflict inside my head right now of like, do I want the best comp available or do I want the most fun on the Rift?
Well, it looks like North America's going with the best comp available because they seem to have put Haunter onto the Shen, Aframu onto the Tahm Kench, which means that, like you just brought up, it's going to be very hard for the Brazilian All-Star team to make plays onto North America with that Tahm Kench able to save.
Also, just, looking, as you said here, with Tahm Kench able to save, it's not just against the Thresh. There's a Malzahar ult someone, Tahm Kench is there. You have a Sejuani engaged with her ult, well, Tahm Kench is there again. So it is such a good pick, and it's really showing us that both teams here, picking super strong meta comps, they're definitely here to actually show that they are ready to represent their regions by winning, and not just by playing a lot of fun
Not just by memeing, right.
Not just by memeing around.
But it should be fun to watch, and especially I like the Tahm Kench with the Varus and the Zoe. I mean, these are both immobile carries, right? You need to have ways to try to protect these guys extra. Zoe, I think, Zoe to me comes off as deceptive because people look at her ult and they see her as having some mobility because she jumps forward. But
it's kind of fake mobility.
Yeah, it's fake mobility. It brings you back to where you started, so you never actually get anywhere.
Fun fact, if you hourglass after you ult forward, you will still jump back. And then your hourglass actually at your original position, and then right after, Tahm Kench can eat you.
And then Tahm Kench saves you, gobbles you up, gets you to safety. Let's see how it works out for these guys. Heading into match number 1, the crowd is excited. The players are ready to go. Let's see who can walk away from this one with a win under their belts and start All-Star 2017 off strong. North America out the gates on the blue. Brazil rushing out on the red side now. I want to see some level 1 action. I doubt we're going to get to see it, but I want to see it.
Listen, I think we've made it very clear during this pick and ban phase. We want to see action. We want to see big plays during All-Star. It's all these players here voted in by the fans of their own region to represent both Brazil and North America. We see actually potential level 1 invade.
All right, Mike Young with the Electrocute on the Jarvan, shown to be a very powerful rune on him, adds plenty of burst damage, especially early on.
Yeah, just going over the keystones we have. So we have up in the top lane on Gnar, we have the area here just for more poke with the boomerangs, especially from him. Mid lane, we have the spellbook from Kami, so that is going to be a lot of fun, meaning, of course, he can change his summoner spells during the game and also reduces the cooldown on his summoner spells, because what's very important on Malzahar is being able to flash.
Right. The flash ult engage, it's so big, it's exactly what Kobe was talking about, right? You take the right rune setup, you can get under a 3-minute flash, which is really capable of catching people off guard.
Also a stopwatch on Kami's side right there, so we'll be able to build that into an hourglass later for himself. Bot lane, Comet on both AD carries, as we mentioned in the pick and ban phase, just a lot of focus on poke, and that's also why you see boots on Jhin here, because it actually allows you to dodge out of the Comet when it gets fired towards you.
Oh, didn't dodge out of that one.
Not if you're slowed by E, I should add. If you're slowed by the E from Varus, you will not dodge it. If you're not slowed by it, you will dodge it. See, prove me wrong instantly. God damn it.
That is not the best possible start, but hey, everybody makes mistakes. BRTT taking a little damage early on, fires back with his own Comet, manages to land that one.
And again, I just want to add that little filler, because we were testing that back in the European office. If you have 355 movement speed, you can walk out of Comet. You don't have that on Varus if you don't start boots, which is why he got hit by it. BRTT keeps getting slowed down, so he can't dodge it.
Yeah, BRTT pretty low on HP here. Takes a mean tunk from Tahm Kench too. Oh, wow, Bird, Haunter taking it to him in this top lane with the Shen. Gnar forced to flash out of the way. Platform from Haunter looking to make the play. The first blood for North America's top laner.
Welcome to the top lane where you pick a tank and you dominate the lane in the early game. That's what we see all the time.
Grasp for the Undying.
Aframu is stealing away the Grom.
Aframu just frog on frog violence. Stealing that one away, spitting it out for his own jungler. North America making the moves in both sides of the map.
Oh, what a start. They're Gnar in the top lane, dying so early. Bot lane as well, sneaky landing all the poke onto the Jhin. Let's get a replay of that top lane fight. It's honestly just haunts us straight, all in with the autos, has level 2 early, taunts him, takes him down, and then walks away, baits it, flashes back in and secures the kill.
Second shot with the enchanted spirit sword to make sure he's got the damage.
But I like again how he walks away. He's like, you're safe, my friend. Don't worry.
Yeah, 100 HP. I won't go further. You're under your tower. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
Then he goes down. Oh, Dude really wants to get these minions under the turret so they can deal damage to them and set up his AD carry to CS. Very smart technique if you don't want to hit enemy champions. Hit the minions instead.
All right, Revolta. Seeing if maybe he can make something happen, but I don't think so. As you can see, there's a zombie ward hanging out in that brush. Oh, keep an eye on him. Zombie ward's one of those new runes that has seen a lot of use.
I think
in the early preseason.
I think it's overpowered, actually.
Very strong.
I think it's so good, especially on junglers, but also on supports where you place a lot of vision. Getting that extra ward after that lasts for 3 minutes is so much extra vision for your team. Mike Young is going to be spotted in the bottom lane.
Great ward by Dude. Honestly, he couldn't have placed that at a better time. That was put down right as Mike was walking down there. He had a feeling something could be going on. He reads it correctly.
He's got
keep those guys okay. That chilling smite, so can get a slow onto his opponent, potentially set up a trouble bubble into a paddle star. We'll have to see if he finds any opportunity to really use that. And that's the thing about Zoe. Her laning phase is so helter-skelter because you never know what kind of bonuses she's going to get. The drops from the minions are random.
And I also want to talk about what Bjergsen just did here. If you want to get some wave clear on Zoe, then you've got to place your Q to the side of the minion wave. So when you're shooting it in from the side, you're hitting 2 to 3 minions each time. And then suddenly she can actually start pushing lanes. If you're just shooting it straight at the minion wave, when you're standing right in front of them, you only hit 1 or 2 max.
Plus you do very little damage because the
also that
increases in damage as it travels, and you just got to give it some time to breathe.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of like Zoe dancing around, shooting her Q behind her, and then firing in front of her to get the extra damage with it. You can then use your ulti to again push yourself further forward so it will travel even longer, and it's actually suddenly really hard to dodge it because it's over these different walls and it's hard to kind of keep track of her, and it's not easy to dodge the skill shots from Zoe.
See, there you go. Bjergsen shoots the thing backwards, fires it forwards. The usual pattern you'll see is they'll hit the bubble, they'll shoot it backwards, and then they'll, like you said, they'll ult forwards to give it that extra little bit of range to redirect it for maximum damage.
Exactly.
Kind of like old Nidalee spears. It's all about the range.
Jumping backwards.
Yeah, jump backwards, throw another spear, and just keep throwing them out until somebody hits one. You're going fishing.
Let's see what happens right now, because bottom side, it is controlled by Brazil. Top lane, Mike Young, though, is looking towards this poor little Nard that already died once.
He's still doing fine in the farm, though. 38 to 36. He's ahead of Haunter in terms of CS, which you'd
this
expect.
This is All-Star, though. It's about kills, not farms.
That's, well, they also picked Tom Kinch, so...
That's true. Yeah, they
I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. Hey! About kills. There's your comment.
You guys saw that? Dodged right out of it. Also, you also got the swiftness boots to make it a little bit easier. That's another thing that's back in the meta. Rush swiftness.
Very much so on Jin.
Yeah, dodge away from the comets. Don't take that extra damage. Also dodge whatever other poke is actually being fired towards you.
Mike Young doing some counter jungling, wants to steal away this chicken camp, make sure that he deprives Revolta of as many resources as possible. Mike now level 5. Bjergsen level 6, so he will have that ulti to give him some extra range, but remember that Zoe's ultimate, it's not like a lot of others. It's not like Malzahar, where the ultimate opens up this huge next level of options for you.
Yeah, it's actually just a small part of her kit. The fact that she can jump forward, get a bit of extra range, and then of course she will just end up having to jump back to her original place. So it is a very strange ulti to use, and it's so much more about landing the long range Q, and then of course landing the CC from your E. Like, that is really what Zoe is about. And then, of course, if you can get a crazy summon spell, that's a bonus.
Yeah, that's always going to be nice. Vert eating a lot of damage from Haunter yet again as he dials in these taunts, but that's the problem with Gnar. Even if you get some good damage onto him as a melee champion, as you're walking away, he can still return the favor onto you. Haunter in a solid spot here. I mean, honestly, taking anything into Gnar, any melee matchup into Gnar, you're usually going to feel rough, but he's doing all right for himself.
It's also important to talk about how, you know, before the runes were changed, Gnar against tanks could just go like things like Fervor of Battle, and have in the late game when he kept getting a ton of hits on them, you just get so much bonus damage, and they really struggle in split push against them. It's really not the same power with the more poke focus we see from Gnar these days. You could go press the attack if you want to go towards that route, but it's not the case in this game here. Let's see what happens around mid lane. Dude is on his way. Revolta is here as well.
Bjergsen knows something is up, gets himself immediately to the other side of the lane, and Brazil's plan will be foiled this time around.
But
zombie ward, though.
Again, a lot of zombie wards. if you play a lot of solo queue, get zombie ward if you are a support or a jungler, because people do not check brushes. Those wards will last a full extra 3 minutes, and you get so much vision for your team, and your teammates won't die.
Because they're just as strong as a normal ward. The sight isn't less than a normal ward. It's the same thing.
It's just the fact you can kill them with one hit, and you can see the ward.
You can see them, and you can kill them really easy if they're there. But like you said, if you don't walk into the bush, you never see the ward, you can't kill it.
It's actually the way to make your teammates better, because they can see stuff on the map. If they look at the minimap, let's see top lane.
Let's see if they can make it happen. Oh, Harnster messing that one up a little bit. Bert getting himself away, but the Battle Star. That's a paddling. Bjergsen grabs the kill.
Bjergsen able to aim it with second one. Let's see.
Oh, now it's going to be trouble for Afromoo. Tries to
Eat
get
yourself
away over the wall. I don't think it works that way, Deficio. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Still walking out. Barely getting away. Afromoo gets out alive.
Stays alive right there. Had to use his summoners. Meanwhile, Sneaky trying to get a bit of poke on Revolta here. Bjergsen.
No sneaky poke.
No sneaky poke yet. Hopefully later, if he keeps firing, he will hit at least one.
Well, I mean, that would be the plan, I would hope.
I mean, he's also hit a few in lane, abusing the slow from Bar's E. I do like the fact, though, that the Brazilian team on the bottom side is really controlling what's happening. It's actually allowing Dude again to be around mid lane. Bjergsen's flash is available, though.
See if Bjergsen can get himself out of this one. Dude wants to look for it. Flashes away immediately, and that'll be a Sunder Spell blown.
Because it is important to note, do not use your ulti to try and escape like that, because you will jump back.
It tells the Thresh exactly where to aim the hook.
Exactly. You won't actually get that far away before you are back in open arms of the Thresh. Flash playing it safe here from Bjergsen's side.
All right, 15.3 thousand gold to 13.6 thousand gold. So you've got a decent little lead for the North American team, but it's nothing that they're completely running away with the game yet at 10 minutes. It's solid, but...
I mean, typically when NA gets small leads, you guys do celebrate it quite a lot and really build up the hype, like something big is about to happen, and maybe it's this game, maybe it's this tournament.
Something big's about to happen.
I mean,
All-Stars.
It could be this tournament as well for North America. It's a good lineup.
I mean, we're also really good at doing well in tournaments that don't matter.
It's very true, but this tournament... Let's see. This part we kind of missed. It's due to the new runes, whatever.
Yep.
Bjergsen, on the other hand.
Bjergsen's got it. He's ready.
Him right in the face.
Monster again going for these taunts. He's so aggressive into Vert in this matchup. He's not willing to let this Gnar sit there and poke at him with the auto attacks. Every time he gets the chance, man, he's taunting in.
He knows, again, if he gets onto him, he wins the fight here. Bot lane as well now. Aftermoon and Sneaker was actually pushed on the turret for a while and therefore lost the bottom side, but now they are starting to push back. We see all the control wards from NA as well, making sure they don't, get surprised by any fancy roams.
And these AD carries and these item builds right now, Deficio, this is like a flashback to a previous episode for me. This is what the bottom lane meta looked like for so long. Back in Spring Split when you had Varus and Jhin lethality over and over as Vert and Haunster into the fight. Bjergsen looking to make his way up here too, maybe get that kill shot. Haunster thinking about going underneath the turret, decides against it.
Meanwhile, Mike Young and Revolta are both bottom side. Might get a big fight here. Of course, TP and both top laners. Shen ulti also available. Revolta's just waiting for a potential gank.
Volta looks like he's calling this one off. Both junglers have about the same amount of economy on them.
He's so low, though. BRTT is so low. You gotta be careful here.
No, Mike already left. I don't think you're really in too much danger. Sneaky and Afromoo not really looking to pressure this too much with Varus and Tom Kench. Happy to farm it up, shove it out. Meanwhile, mid lane, Kami versus Bjergsen within 5 CS of each other. There, we got something in the inventories right now, Deficio. I want to direct your eyes to Kami's footwear. This is the best rune in the entire suite of rune ever since we reforged them. That man's rocking some free-ass boots, and that is exactly what you want. They don't cost any gold. They give you 10 bonus movement speed. That stays on the upgrade. It is such a cost-effective.
You're a great salesman. Meanwhile,
you want to buy 2 pair?
I like them as well. I do like them, but
oh, now he's able to find the ulti down into Bjergsen. He's got Revolta here as well. Silence into more CC. Haunter's able to make the save with the ultimate, returning some damage onto Kami. Bjergsen lives to see another day, and North America will also be able to take first turret bottom side.
Yeah, that's the first turret for them. Bjergsen stays alive because of the Shen ulti. Dude was on his way, but he just couldn't get there in time. I actually still like the play from Brazil here. Just trying to lock down Zoe. She can't really escape once you get onto her. Aftermoon
comes another play. It's Mike Young going to be delivered into the mid lane turret, dunks him underneath the turret, but Kami's able to stay alive for now. Diud going fishing, finds his way onto the Kench. Afromove going to be in some trouble. Silenced up, stunned up, and taken down. Burt grabbing the kill.
There's only one target he actually wanted to hit, and that was Tahm Kench. No way out. Afromove's flash is still gone after he lost it around the mid lane earlier in this game here. That's the first kill now for Brazil.
Plus, if you hit anybody else, the Tahm Kench just eats them to safety,
Exactly.
gets them out. It's a
That's
problem.
why you want the Tahm Kench. Gotta take him
Uh-oh.
down. More fighting.
Here comes the rotation squad looking to make another play. BRTT opens up the firing range, but Diud's the one who's taking a whole lot of damage. Haunter, again, not able to find the flash taunt. Burt continuing to look for Sneaky, but now the attention has been turned over to Haunter as Mike Young makes his entrance. Revolta is low, out of mana. Sleepy Trouble Bubble not going to be finding anyone. Bjergsen's able to find the damage, and Burt goes down. Now the taunt has connected all the way onto Kami. He's out of there too, and North America's got themselves a double.
Oh, what just happened right there? They were trying to make a play top lane. Suddenly Haunter shows up. Bjergsen is actually flashing forward here. Not flashing forward.
I don't think that was his real flash. Was that a fake one?
Fake flash.
Fake
forward.
flash. So hard to tell. That's honestly one of the strangest things about watching Zoe. You'll see the guy flash, you'll think, oh, he fat fingered it. There's no way he would want to flash there. And it's like, no, he just had the extra one.
Always gotta look for different summoner spell usage from Zoe, or items as well. It's gonna be one of the fun things about casting her in big team fights out of nowhere.
Oh,
You
it's
suddenly
gonna
see-
be such a mess. I'm gonna have. I guarantee you, I'll goof it up at least once.
All right, let's see it again here. So there's TP available from Haunter. Uses the top, sneaky baiting everything. Nice ulti from him, actually, buying so much time. And Kami's on his way back to base to get TP. He has heal right now, Malzahar. He's gonna switch that heal to teleport with his spellbook so he can TP into the fight. But by the time he's doing that, he's actually too late.
Yeah.
And the fight is over. Now he arrives.
Oh,
Wait!
what am I doing?
And now it's on cooldown. Man, that is a shame.
But Haunter is now in a little bit of trouble. He's been bullying Burt for quite a while in top lane this game, but Burt has now found himself in the spot that Gnar normally finds himself, pushing Haunter away, taking him low, maintaining control of that bottom lane as Sneaky pushes up in the top side. BRTT trying to defend it, but he's got to be very, very careful. You can see Aframu hanging around up here too. Diud also wants to be a part of this. BRTT and Diud, you know, the bottom lane for the Red Can is one of the better teams in CB LoL. These guys, we got to see them during MSI as well. So these guys have shown themselves to be an impactful duo. They've shown themselves to have synergy before, but this game they're struggling to get on the board too much.
Well, I just love they're always trying to be aggressive, you know, both back in CP LoL, but also here we've seen them try and set up some plays. Now, they've not been too successful just yet in this game here. Now, again, as you mentioned, struggling a little bit against this Varus and Tahm Kench because you can't make plays in the Tahm Kench Varus lane. Like, he's just constantly denying it from Dude, which is why he's roaming. He's leaving. He's going mid instead to make plays. But that's QSS now as well on Bjergsen. Good thing, though, they're getting bot lane tower. Revolta was down there. The Gnar is starting to poke down the Shen. And Ado will respond top lane.
Now, this gold lead, especially with this second turret going down up here for North America, is starting to get a little bit out of control. Bjergsen going to find himself jumped on yet again. Drops the flash, going to be stunned up. QSS to get away from that one. Sleepy Trouble Bubble prevents the chase, and he's out.
Kami was just not in range to actually flash ult him. At least wasn't fast enough if he was close enough. Mike Young starting that Rift Herald as well. Always gonna be interesting to see if teams are finding new ways to use an objective like this. I don't think so because the runes didn't really change how you use the Rift Herald, but I'm always kind of waiting for meta changes during off seasons where someone's like, oh wait, maybe we should use it like this instead. Sadly, probably not gonna be big changes with the Rift Herald.
No, there's not a ton of different ways you can use it, I guess. I mean, you can use it as a bait, or you can use it, usually you mostly just seem to take the mid turrets.
Yeah, I know, but what about...
Trying to theory craft some new Rift Herald magic.
It's really difficult when it's so simple that it charges a tower and kills a tower.
It headbutts a turret and kills itself if it attacks too much.
If you could just do more things.
Yeah.
There's a rune to change how you could use it.
Oh, a rune that changes the objectives.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Rift Herald becomes something different.
I don't know what. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
farms the jungle
there's
for
a
you or
reason that
something.
we're casters and not game designers. I don't know what to do with it. Send it into the jungle to clear all your camps or something along those lines. But right now, we can only send him into turrets. So we'll have to see where they decide to use that when as Sneaky continues to farm. He's got the Ghost Blade, Serrated Dirk #2 in the inventory. It's that lethality stacking I was talking about earlier.
Gotta get that Dusk Blade. Gotta be able to deal maximum damage against some of these squishy targets on the Brazilian side. Obviously, BRTT wants to do exactly the same, but he's actually changing it up a little bit.
And it's very effective right now with the state of the game, because look at the atomization on the tanks. It's health. in both top lane and jungle. These guys are just stacking health. There's no extra armor there, so that lethality is still going to pack quite a punch, even on the front line.
Exactly, and also we gotta see top lane here. Aframo actually went with Biscuits for himself to be stronger in the laning phase specifically. I didn't really get to use a whole lot of Biscuits because he never really got poked down in the laning phase, but that is one big thing you can do on melee supports. If you think there's a lot of poke in the lane you're playing against, Biscuits super, super good from the inspiration tree.
There's some of that poke from the piercing arrow from Sneaky trying to get his way onto Kami. Rift Herald used by Mike Young. Nice big headbutt will take that turret down to 1/4 HP. Bjergsen has a cleanse, looking to make the move. Sneaky grabbing the kills. One piercing arrow shot through 2 hearts at once.
And we just talked about some of the squishy carries on the Brazilian side. Well, those 2 carries just died straight away. They were trying to defend this mid lane tower. Bjergsen with cleanse and QSS felt so comfortable he could jump in and add more damage to what Sneaky was already setting up.
And that showcased something important about Paddlestar that I think sometimes people forget. It's AoE. When Paddlestar explodes, the damage happens in a small radius around whatever it hits on. It's not a Nidalee Spear. So he was able to do enough damage to set Sneaky up for both of those. And now North America can transition. They can go grab the Mountain Drake. First Drake of the game at 19 minutes is a little bit slow, but they've been busy getting killed.
It's a European special. In the US, yes, we don't really do those Drakes early game.
Drakes aren't really the name of the game.
No. Let's see it again, let's see it again. So he's setting up this huge hit, and then Sneaky just needs to land a Q, picks up the kills, and there's a reason we talk about how Zoe is just insanely strong at the moment. And one of the big reasons is the amount of damage she deals when she hits one of these big skill shots. And again, it's not that easy to dodge around it because you don't always see where she's firing it from, and it does actually fire pretty fast towards you. So if you don't have any mobility to get out of it, there's a high chance you're gonna get hit eventually.
All right, firing range opened up onto Sneaky, trying to buy himself some time. Stand United also gonna be used, flashing out of the way. Afro move gonna be brought in, so is Haunter. They turn it around, and Dude falls. Now can they find any more? Revolta trying to get out. Bjergsen gonna be coming up from the side. Sneaky's troubled bubble falls a little bit short. Wants to make the Paddlestar hit, not quite able to find it. Rooted up by the Deadly Flourish. North America takes 1.
Also very good silence right there from Kami's side. Actually made sure that Bjergsen couldn't ult forward at the same time as he fired that Q. But top lane again, the globals from North America, the Tamkins, the Shen, so hard to play against if you want to try and force that single kill in a side lane. It's never just one person sitting there. It's always 2 to 3 guys and then the rest of the team joining up.
By the way, when you said the Zoe Paddlestar scales so heavily, I wanted to actually check the tooltip and see how much it scales up to. And right now, if you hit the maximum distance on Bjergsen's Paddlestar with the items he has, 970 damage.
We are 20 minutes into the game. That is
970
insane.
damage in a small AoE. Like what we saw underneath that tier 1 turret. If he can hit that on one person, it's great. You hit it on more than one person, it's GG.
And then the fact also her CC is so strong, and especially in professional play where you can coordinate that with the rest of your members. If you land a taunt first, it's pretty easy then for Bjergsen to land his skills right after and actually secure the kills. Still, I'm glad we get her in the first game. I actually thought she was going to be banned, but clearly Brazilian team already with the Malzahar. Let's see what happens top.
All right, Mike Young starting it off. Drops the Cataclysm. Diu's going to be the target, but Mike's in there a little bit too early. The rest of the North American team not responding in time, so Mike just has to use his own flash getting out.
Vert did get the bot lane tower earlier in this game here, so 1 turret and 1 kill for the Brazilian team, but man, they are so far behind this game, and now they're getting sieged on in the top lane.
Oh,
That's 1.
Oh, there's your drowsy Paddlestar from a long way away. Revolta's going to be blocking what would have been a kill blow, but Diu still goes down. Sneaky on a killing spree for that one as NA continues latency for the turret. The demolish is going to be there.
Oh!
The double kill. The Paddlestar into piercing arrow combo is ripping Brazil apart.
It is so painful to play against. It's even painful to watch it right now. The fact that you can land these abilities over these walls, the extra range on them and everything, like it's just crazy how strong your siege is, especially in a poke meta. If you have your AD carry landing poke, applying CC, then you have your mid laner able to do what we just saw here from the Zoe. Lands a sleep onto the enemy support, and instantly, you know, he just dies.
And like what I brought up earlier, look at the atomization. It's all HP, and these guys are stacking Impen and stacking Armor Pen.
Again, it is important to highlight when you're shooting the little bubble here, the sleep over walls, the range is extended. So again, that's why you see him landing it from so far away. Second one even connects as another sleep into then more poke damage, and you die.
Okay, so remember that 970 damage missile?
Uh-huh.
It also deals an extra 310 damage if they're drowsy.
Right.
So 1280 damage.
And let's see, BRTT's HP at the moment is 1377.
So
Almost.
it will leave him with 97 health.
There we go. Didn't get one shot.
Not one shot technically, but look at the damage dealt to champions this game. You can see how high the damage value is, especially for Sneaky on this Varus. With those double lethality items, he's stacking the Mana Moon up now as well. The CDR this guy has, 30%. With the 2 lethality items combined with the Ionian Boots of Lucidity means those arrows are going to be flying left, right, and center. Brazil is in a tough spot.
And it's hard to get out of it as well when you have AD carries like Jin. If he falls behind, let's see what happens here. Vert is actually finding Afro and Mike Young. Well, who's finding who?
Yeah, I think it's Mike Young feeling okay about this one, but Vert looking to still flex
I like
those
it.
muscles 1 versus 2. Afro gobbles him up. Bjergsen walking away. Mike Young trying to slam the Cataclysm down onto Vert. Haunter shows up. Vert flashing away, trying to keep himself alive. Suppression down on a Sneaky. They might be able to take him down. They do. BRTT grabbing the kill. Vert still looking to find Mike Young. Barely misses out on the kill.
So that was a 1-for-1 here. We gotta remember, NA is really far ahead in this game, so that was a very good trade for the Brazilian team. Bjergsen.
Oh, DU nearly getting one shot by Bjergsen's Paddle Star. Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Oh, he stepped onto it. Bjergsen grabbing even more damage. That's the problem with this skill too, Deficio. If you miss it, it sits on the ground and it can still step on it.
I feel like we've highlighted 10 problems already when it comes to playing against Zoe.
There's so many
Everything
things
is
you have
just
to
a
be
problem.
mindful of. So many things.
Still though, if you do want to try and shut her down, again,
Oh, Sleepy
Oh,
Trouble.
she's gonna fall asleep
he's
now.
done. That's your Paddle Star. Bjergsen on a killing spree.
if you do want to try and shut her down, you gotta bring CC, and you need to be able to actually just flash onto her and CC her. That's obviously where the QSS is very smart from Bjergsen, to try and avoid dying instantly against it. But once you actually lock her down, she doesn't have great escape tools. She's very good when she's ahead. She snowballs so insanely well, probably the best out of any mid laner right now. But if she falls behind, or if you can actually jump her with Flash, Malzahar, ult, and QSS is on cooldown, she will not get away after that. Sadly, again, it's really hard to do, and there's also a time pinch.
There's also a top pinch. There's also an 8,000 gold deficit. There's also this Infernal Drake being taken, which is going to multiply her damage by another 8%. And
Yeah.
8% is one of those numbers. It feels tiny, But when you're doing 8% of 1,300 damage, it's pretty big.
Let's see, BRTT. Infinity Edge completed, fine Afro move.
Afro moves, suppressed, bursted, gets the thick skin off, trying to stay alive, but not today.
And actually, again, the Infinity Edge right there from Jin is actually a pretty smart adaptation. If you're already losing early game, don't just stack more poke, because you need to start forcing fights and try and win those fights despite being down a ton of gold to then get a Baron and get back in the game that way. So going Infinity Edge just make him stronger also when it comes to try and burst down a tank. Because stacking lethality against someone who's stacking armor doesn't feel great, won't do you any favors in team fights. Infinity Edge, much better on Jin for killing tanks.
Oh, Revolta loses half his health there. Bjergsen, with the solid aim on the bubble, realizes, hey, even if he backsteps to avoid the projectile, the trap falls in front of him, he has to step on it to get away. BRTT, like you said, trying to build for these team fights, trying to give his team an opportunity to find a way back into this game. But when we were looking at Champion Select and we were saying, hey, these guys are drafting try-hard team comps, they're kind of playing what Korea was playing, doing the Kespa Cup thing. Well, the problem with poke comps, it's like you said, when they fall behind, they feel really bad. When they are ahead, they feel super good.
Vert right now might actually be in trouble as a TP coming.
Okay, Bjergsen and Haunter together.
How did you get a
What they
TP?
find, let's...
Because why not?
Because why not? That is the best answer. As Haunter still looks to maybe find this taunt here. Paddle Star comes up a little bit short.
Keep running, my friend.
Bert's
Just
doing
keep
a
running.
great job, but the second he stops doing that great job, yeah, that's going to happen. This is your tank, remember, Deficio. He's trying to get out. Going to go Mega Gnar here in a moment. It'll give him some HP, but it makes him slower,
Oh,
too.
there's so many walls here, extra range.
This is difficult. Bjergsen's still looking to maybe...
Wait.
Is this the greatest bamboozle of our time?
Oh, he jumped the
Oh,
wall.
he jumped right.
Oh.
Oh, imagine if he would have stayed in that fog, if he would have had that sixth sense to know it.
No.
There's no way out.
Goodbye, sweet prince.
He tried so damn hard. That was so close.
Meanwhile, the rest of his team was just kind of basing and killing
Rest of his
killing a
team
raptor
is
camp.
question mark pinging the Gnar. Why are you
What are
back
you doing?
there?
What are you doing there back there? Get back. Poor Vert. Tried so hard in the bot lane, but again, when a random mid laner just TPs in without even having teleport.
Remember, he has heal. Heal is his spell.
Anyway, managed to get that one, so lucky for Bjergsen. And NA right now, baiting around the famous Baron. Normally not their best friend.
No, definitely not. Can confirm, but maybe All-Stars is a turning point. I mean, this year, we had Dignitas, a team that is previously known for having mistakes around Baron, pull some amazing plays around Baron. Maybe this is a good omen for all of North America together. That Baron will be our new savior.
Well, I mean, again, a lot of vocal members on this team. Everyone can make the call to step away from Baron in case something is about to go wrong. Aframu in there, Mike Young as well. And of course, Bjergsen, we know, will be super vocal in these fights. And gotta see, for now, 28 minutes into the game, they got 2 great Drakes. They're still very far ahead in gold. They have very overpowered Zoe.
And Brazil is just running out of options, I feel like. These guys are trying to find ways back into the game, but every time they look for some opportunity, North America's doing a good job of shutting it down. The only deaths on the NA team so far, Deficio, 1 death on Sneaky, 2 deaths on Aframu. Your solo lanes and your jungler still haven't died. This is a really solid performance from the North American squad overall in not getting too sloppy, not getting too careless.
I do like, though, the fact that the Brazilian team has actually tried to find like a few picks to at least delay the game. Like, yeah, again, they're far down, but it still feels like if they get a good flash engage, where Aframu maybe is not right there to save whoever they're jumping on, they can get that 1 kill. And we're late enough into the game that if you get 1 kill, you can start Baron. But once again, though, NA side, double QSS now on the carries. As you mentioned, the time catch, Shen ulti as well. Like, it's not just flash engaging as a Malzahar to get a kill. You need to do a whole lot more other than that.
And I mean, this is Aframu. This is a guy who has been one of the heart and soul members of CLG for a long time and was this guy who a lot of the time people and fans and critics alike were crediting with the team doing well when they otherwise would have had issues. And even though he's had his ups and downs, his ups on that team were moments where he was making these calls and making these plays. I want to see if he's able to be that guy who can always provide the save, who can always keep Bjergsen or Sneaky alive, because I don't see him being too far away from these guys anytime soon.
Well, I also want to see if it's Dude or Revolta who can be the guy with the big engage from the Brazilian team. Vert down the bot lane.
Vert still struggling a little bit with Haunter here, now getting a chance to attack back. But Haunter is just not turning away. He has no surrender in him. Flash into the taunt, able to find the kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, it's Mike Young grabbing the dunk onto Kami. 2 dead on the Brazilian side as North America now has their choice of where they want to push and what they want to do. Taking the mid lane tier 2, moving back towards Baron.
Yeah, they got double global on that Shen. He can always join near the Baron here in case they need him. Rest of North America moving straight towards it. Bjergsen actually going back to base for now. Obviously can just rush straight to Baron. Still, they are starting it.
All right, Haunter on the
Of course, Bjergsen got another teleport.
Yeah, Bjergsen, why not? Why not? Got to be able to get to that fight in time. Revolta gonna be taken low. Drowsy onto BRTT. He's there. I can't even complete the sentence before he dies.
He's gone.
Nope, that's the problem. Also, Bjergsen's got Luden's Echo now for even more instantaneous burst.
Do the math on the damage over there.
All right, let's do the math on the damage. Let me see exactly what we're staring at. You've got a maximum damage of 1,400 base on the Q. And it has an E that will do an extra 400, so that's 1,800. Plus you have your Luden's proc, which is an extra 100, 200 or something. You're looking at about a 2,000 damage Q from max range, if they're sleepy.
Will basically one-shot the Jhin. Or get very close. Revolta.
Oh, Revolta in a little bit of trouble here. Going to be caught up. They try to counterattack with Kami. Revolta barely going to be getting away, but now it's Kami who's taken down by Aframu. Revolta going to be followed up as the piercing arrow strikes true. And North America takes down 3, now pushing into the Brazilian base. The Sleepy Trouble bubble will zone them all away. Inhibitor number 1 under pressure now, and North America will likely just end the game. Bjergsen with another insta-kill onto BRTT. I think this is all she wrote.
Really good first game here from the North American team. A lot of nice plays coming from the Zoe, but also on top lane got the first solo kill. Bjergsen will actually die in the end.
He ruins a perfect game.
Does not matter though when it comes to KDA. You can't divide by 0 anyway, so having 1 death.
That's a technicality.
Does not change your
KDA. Could have
KDA.
walked away with 0.
Could have walked away with 0. Didn't do it though. North America dominating in the first game.
That was an awesome display of coordination between the tanks and the CC and the poke.
Right.
With Sneaky and Bjergsen, they set it up time after time, and You mentioned it, Deficio. That is so disheartening to play against because it just feels like, well, what do I do?
It looked so painful to deal with. Again, also just a combination of Zoe Varus with the very long-range poke and then Tahm Kench.
Yep.
Like, that combination in itself, especially if you fall behind early game, is just so hard to do anything against because you can't just flash all in.
Nope.
You can't just engage. There's QSS, there's Tahm Kench. Like, you just sit back at your tower and you wait for someone to die.
Yeah, you hope something messes up on North American
Completely
squad.
messes up.
Yeah, you hope that Bjergsen just R's right into you for no reason and you can hook his origin point or something, because other than that, what's the weakness of a poke comp? Hard engage, get in there, stop the poke, start the fight. Tahm Kench says, okay, cool. We'll see you later. I'm just going to gobble this guy up. Your ults are gone. Let's try again here in 10 seconds. Here comes more trouble bubbles.
Yeah, so obviously the answer could be ban Zoe, and you avoid some of that. There will still be poke comps with Tahm Kench, which could be very strong. Obviously, the Thresh was actually the last pick from the Brazilian team when they already knew after
They saw the Kench.
You know, potentially playing that Tahm Kench. So there were definitely issues when it comes to playing out this game once you fell behind early, but honestly, strong early game from North America. Good roams from Bjergsen. Horns are winning 1v1 top. No issues in the bot lane, and suddenly you just start snowballing the game.
We talked about that home field advantage. This could be North
That was
America's
it?
year.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
That was it.
Win one
That's
game
what
and
that does
suddenly
for it.
the hype train
yeah,
is on
win
the
one
way.
game. Choo choo. We're going all the way. That's what I told you. You said we like to get excited about small early
Yes, you do.
advantages. Was that not a good game to get excited about small early advantages?
You're correct. If this is how the tournament will look for North America, then it's pretty damn good.
Meanwhile, for Brazil, it's all about saying, hey, first game was a little bit rough. That's all good. Everybody has a rough one now and again. We'll make sure that we can come back better next time. Like you said, there are a couple of issues in the draft. Like, you see the Kench, you pick the Thresh anyway.
They just had a different plan, right, going into this. So, like, give Zoe, pick Malzahar against it. It's going to be fine. If Bjergsen didn't lock in Zoe in the first phase, you could just ban it in the second phase,
Right.
So they felt like they had to pick against it, at least to deal with it. I think then just the rest of the combination of the NA draft made it very hard to actually get back in this game.
Yeah, it seemed like the way that North America played it out throughout the beginning to the end of the draft, it just came together in a very coherent package. But for more on that game one, let's send it over to Freak, who's standing by with the North American mid laner.
Thank you very much. I am here with the man in the mid lane. Bjergsen got himself Zoe in the first game of All-Star. Question for you, was it a mistake by the Brazilians in Champ Select to leave that champ up and let you get it second round?
I think I'm going to have to go with a yes. Zoe looks really strong. I obviously haven't played her enough to say whether she's OP or not, but this happens pretty frequently where I see a Zoe that gets just too many kills and does too much damage. And but yeah, she is a lot of fun as well. So strong champion and really fun. That's the best combo for me.
I know this event is sort of semi-serious. You guys are partial in the off-season, but also you got 4/6 of TSM here, kind of the coach. So, coming into this, were you feeling confident? Were you feeling prepared with your new teammates, ready to go and kick some butt?
Not sure if I was feeling prepared because I've heard some of the other teams have been screaming for maybe a week or two, whereas we played 4 games together, maybe. So
Perfect.
but getting to work with Song and Mike Young for the first time has been really interesting because I hadn't even met Song until, I believe, yesterday. So it's just been a really good time so far, and I think it's always interesting to play with really good and smart players from other teams in Sneaky and Afro because you just learn about how other people communicate and play and think about the game.
And so far, so good for TSM. Of course, we'll see you play more during this event. The question I have for you, based on All-Stars, though, is will this finally be the international event where TSM makes it out of groups, or NA makes it out of groups?
Hey, what about Rift Rival?
Bjergsen makes it out of groups.
What about Rift Rival?
Okay, well, you're playing against good teams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just smack talk all the regions.
Korea's not in our group. Oh, wait. Not our Worlds either. Yeah, we'll make it out of groups. I'll give you that bold statement.
All right, no Korea in the group, still going to make it out of groups. Thank you very much. All right, so I believe you're going to be playing against China later in the day. Tell me about how that one's going to go for you.
Definitely harder than the Brazilian team. The Chinese team is looking really strong. Like, their lineup is good. And it seems like they pick their players to win. Like, the Chinese fans pick their players to win, not just because they might be the most popular. I feel like they really did pick some of the best players in their region. So it's not going to be easy, but don't ban Zoe, China.
Don't ban Zoe. Final question for you. You got the 1v1s coming up as well. Are you going to win this one?
I hope so. I've been doing some theory crafting and playing against all my teammates, and I think a big part of it is definitely preparation and understanding what champions, runes are strong, matchups, and what you ban going into the game. So I think whether my meta is good or not is going to matter a lot, especially in the first round when you don't get to see other people play.
All right, Bjergsen, thank you very much. Congrats on your win. We'll see more of you later today, but for now, let's go to a commercial break. We'll be back with more All-Star 2017.